world-class range of solar water heaters, water purifiers, chimneys र gas hobs ले तपाई र तपाईको घरको पूर्ण रूपमा केयर गर्छ किनकि न्यूले बुझेको छ your way of quality living.
Winter Fresh, freshness that bonds.
Himsta for a complete home.
म त पैसा लिन्छु आइमी पेमा चाहियो के र खर्च गर्न सजिलो कार्डबाटै किन्छु म लिन्छु म ब्याज पनि पाइन्छ हो विदेशबाट आएको रकम वेलकम टु आइमी पे वालेट आइमी पे भए चाहियो के छ सबै सेट
Himsta for a complete home. Vivo.
सुजल डेरीको उत्कृष्ट उत्पादन डिलाइट डेरी व्हाइटनरले अब हरेक दिन डिलाइटफुल.
Winter Fresh, freshness that bonds.
Pond Super Light Gel with hyaluronic acid. 200% instant hydration. Miracles happen.
तर यो जिद्दी दाग यो निकाल्न इजी छ. सर्फ एक्सेल इजी वाश. यसको 10 हातको शक्ति छ यस्तो जसले जिद्दी दाग निकाल्न गर्छ इजी. सर्फ एक्सेल इजी वाश.
Himsta for a complete home.
Is Dove really different from soap? Ordinary soap dries itself over time, but Dove is different. Get your radiance with Dove.
Game day number 6 here at the Siddhartha Bank in Nepal Premier League, powered by Ncell, and it's another glorious morning in the Kathmandu Valley. We're all set for a double-header action. Yeah, very good morning and a warm welcome along to the TU International Cricket Ground. We're here yet again in the Kathmandu Valley for yet another day of double-header action. So looking forward to it. We've had such a sensational start to the tournament. 9 games so far. Time for game day number 6 and match 10 and 11. HD Ackerman's alongside me. Very good morning, HD. How are you this morning? I'm a bit more dressed up than you are, I think. How are you not cold?
I think these mornings are beautiful. They're just crisp. Yes, there's a little bit of a nip in the air, but I must admit it's quite beautiful. And it only gets nicer as the day progresses.
It actually does. I'll tell you something. When you kick into sort of about midday, it gets to 19, 20 degrees, the most perfect cricketing weather. We're right into the action now. We're into the group stages, an 8-team round robin, and we're going to have double-header action today. And there's plenty of excitement in the valley because Sheikar is ready to go yet again. It's going to be the Karnali Yaks taking on the Chitwan Rhinos, two sides with contrasting fortunes thus far. And then it's going to be the Lumbini Lions taking on the Pakara Avengers. Should be 2 really good contests today, H.
It should be. That second contest, the Avengers need to get going here. Otherwise, we might have our top 4 really early in the competition. But they can turn it around against the Lions who've only played just the 1 game.
Yeah, it's a very good point. Just before we touch on today, what about yesterday? We had 2 matches, as we have basically throughout almost the entirety of this group stages. They were 2 pretty one-sided games, weren't they? The Bolts extended their lead. early running for the tournament favourites. They are top of the table, beating the Pokhara Avengers by 7 wickets. And then it was pretty much the same in the afternoon game. A very one-sided match as the Sudaprashim Royals were far too good for the Kathmandu Gurkhas.
Yeah, both sides just really look as though they're well balanced, Lenny. I mean, if you look at the bolts, they've got the seam department and they've got the spin department. You think of Rajbanji in that side. And when it comes to the Royals, well, they just got that inspirational leader of theirs, Dipendra Singh Airy, with bat ball in the field yesterday. He got runs. He was brilliant in the field, inflicted a run out. So I think there's no surprising why they're the favourites, and they've shown why they're the favourites because they're unbeaten.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I think Dipendra Singh Airy has been one of the superstars of this tournament so far. What about the leading run scorers? Who have been looking at, who have been impressed with? Lahiru Malantha, certainly someone who's been very good, but also there's been some hometown performances. Irie, Brandon McMullen from Scotland, I think he's been good too. And Shikhar Dhawan, he's in and around the mix too.
Yeah, nice to see for the benefit of Shikhar Dhawan, who's obviously arrived here with lots of expectation, that he got 70 odd in his previous game. I'm sure that they'll be looking to him to score some runs early on here again today if they get back first, or even if they chase. I have liked Malanta, the left-hander. I haven't seen a lot of him, to be honest, and I think that he's been a real standout performer.
Yeah, in terms of the Yaks specifically, Shikhar top of the pile, but also Gulshan Jha, he is a precociously talented teenager, bat ball and in the field. There really is a great culture, a growing culture of young cricketers coming through the system here in Nepal, and they're mixing it against some of the best in the world.
They are. With regard to the Yaks, you mentioned Gulshan Jha, we've seen Shikhar Dhawan. I'm a little bit, it's early on in the competition. I mean, they've only played their handful of games, but when I look at their lineup, it does surprise me that they haven't registered a win yet. Yeah,
it really does. I suppose one of the challenges has been the lack of form for Barbara Hyatt. Let's get a look at what the Yaks have done thus far. The side from Karnali, they've played 2, they've lost 2. This was their last game. And you saw it there, we probably thought it was a pretty good total, didn't we? Right on the money in a morning match, in and around par. And that 149 was all thanks to one man, really, Shikhar Dhawan.
Yeah, I think if you get around the 150 mark, you're going to have to bowl well if you want to win, but you're certainly not out the game. But you've got to get 160 plus if you're going to be the more sort of assured to go on and win the game. They'll be disappointed with that result against the Gurkhas. They were outplayed against the Bolts in their first loss, but the Gurkhas is the one they'll look at. One missed.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt about that. But one of the things that excites me so much about this competition, young Nepali talent getting to mix it with the likes of a Shikhar Dhawan. And let's just quickly touch on one of them. Bipin Sharma, 16 years of age, through the talent hunt, straight into the team, 1 for 18. Incredible.
Yeah, I mean, spin is always going to be something that is going to be highlighted here in the NPL. There's so many wonderful spinners on offer. This is just Shikhar Dhawan here having a little hit. So he's certainly not one of the young performers in the NPL, but Bipin Sharma will learn a lot from Shikhar Dhawan. Not necessarily with the bat, because we know that Shikhar's a batter, but he would have played with many world-class spinners, and he'll impart that information on that young man.
Yeah, I love that Shikhar Dhawan innings, the way in which he accelerated. He only faced 16 balls in the first 60 from that entire match, but then he got a lot of the strike in the back end and he accelerated. Usually you think of Shikhar Dhawan, you think of trademark 4s. He hit a lot of 6s, as we've seen 6s all around his TU, over 100 already in the tournament. Okay, what about the Chitwan Rhinos? I think they've been really good so far. They've played 2-1-2. They've been captained by a youngster, Kushal Malla, leading at this level for the very first time. And I think the way in which he's captained has been so impressive. They've got experience. Malla's second in terms of the leading run scorers for the Rhinos. And it's a real crafty veteran, Ravi Bapara, at the top.
I thought he played beautifully for his half-century in their previous game. Just the way, similar to the way Shikhar Dhawan went about things. It looked real effortless. I mean, I know we overuse this sort of statement in the commentary box about easy on the eye, but Ravi Bapara is one of those players who is easy on the eye. Even when hitting the ball out the ground, it's a stylish stroke. And it's good for his side, good for his confidence that he got some runs early on in the competition.
Yeah, quite incredible to think that 51 came off just 38 deliveries, and the way in which he played those fluent strokes inside out over extra cover, that was quite something. And then sensational bowling. We might suspect that the best bowling attack in this tournament, it belongs to the team from that beautiful Chitwan province, and certainly the 2 left arms at the top, quite sensational.
Yeah, Dakal and Sohail Tanvir. And fantastic that you talk about the young man Rijan Dakal, so he can learn from Sohail Tanvir about the art of left arm swing bowling. I mean, Sohail Tanvir has really destroyed teams at the top, knocking them over. 5 for in the first game, 3 in the second game, but it was Dakhel who was the most impressive in the second game of how he swung the ball back into the right-handers. I think the score was 7 for 6.
Well, that's what this scorecard doesn't tell you. You're spot on. At one point, it was an NFL score. You and I love our NFL. 7 for 6, the Avengers. They did battle up to 74, but it was nowhere near enough. Sohail Tanvir is actually the leading wicket taker in the entire tournament. It's left armers dominating that. The left arm pace of Sohail Tanvir at the top. And in second place, it's Lalit Rajbanshi with 7 wickets, one of the local players. This was the start. This was the 7 for 6. Tanvir with that unorthodox action, picking up 3 wickets in the very first over. He was simply too good, and then complemented so nicely by young Rijan Dakhel.
Yeah, if you haven't played against Sohail Tanvir before, he's a real handful, just getting used to that action. But again, let's just highlight the young man from Nepal, the way that he swung the ball up front. I mean, every single batter that was given out LBW walked off shaking their head. But you and I had the benefit of slow motions. Every single one that was given out LBW was plumb in front.
Oh, I couldn't agree more, and I actually said that to Michael Leask last night. I said, Leask, you were stitched. He said, when I watched it back, I actually was. A special word too for the leg breaks of Luke Benkenstein. They have really impressed me. And if you think about him, his all-round skills, he's in the top of the order, but he's also, I think, turning into a world-class leg spinner.
Yeah, he spins the ball. He spins the ball. He's got all the skills. He's got the one that goes straight on. I mean, I don't know. You would know because you're a leg spinner, so you'll be able to see it a lot better than me. Does he have a flipper? Because he seems to be one that skids on as well.
I think it's one for me that just kind of slides on. Shane Warne used to call it the zooter. He had 10 or 12 different words. But if you just think about your leg spin grip, your 3-finger grip, it comes out in between those.
The financial world is global. It never stops. Every day,
Toss it up because batters are profiting down the ground. So look, before we get out to the pitch report, what's been your feelings throughout this tournament? Is it really 3 sides that are dominating thus far? Unless the Yaks turn it round today, it could be the Rhinos, the Royals and the Bolts very much forcing their way towards the playoffs.
Well, I think the Royals and the Bolts, we know that they're away. If the Royals win one more, you're probably sure that those two are going to be in the playoffs. But I think we're going to get someone that sneaks in from sort of nowhere here, and it might be the Yaks, because they're too good a side, Lenny. Far too good a side to be languishing where they are.
Well, I'll tell you something from talking to Kevin O'Brien and Sandeep Lamachani. They want it to be the Biratnagar Kings. They might be the side that win that historic chase of 192. That could be what gets them going. One thing is certain, this MPL is absolutely the talking point of the entire valley and indeed the entire country. Okay, we've been working Sriram Srinaran, the former India international, very hard. Let's get out to him and see what the pitch report and his feelings this morning.
Yeah, welcome to yet another chilly morning in Kathmandu. We're all set for day 6 of the Siddhartha Bank Nepal Premier League powered by Ncell. We've had 5 days of cricket and we've had 5 fresh pitches every day. And today is no different. Today is the last day where we'll get a fresh pitch. And we're on pitch number 6 today. I was talking to the groundsman this morning and he was telling me the sun has come up slightly late today. And what do we see? It's a hazy morning. And we see a darkish color to the pitch. Compare that to pitch number 7. It's a lot more whiter. What does that tell me? It tells me that there is a lot more moisture underneath this. And what will that do? The ball will do a bit early on, and the spinners might get a bit of grip off the surface. And I just suspect that the team winning the toss, playing first today, will choose to bowl first. And as the sun comes out, the pitch is going to get better for batting, and we'll see a lot more runs being scored. Let's have another great cracking of a day.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with Sriram there. There is no doubt the winning captain will look to bowl first. Let's see if that was the case. About 20 minutes ago, Mikhail Veswamy was out with the 2 captains.
Another nice and sunny morning here in the Tribhuvan University International Cricket Stadium. We are all set for the toss on day 6, match number 10 in the Siddhartha Bank Nepal Premier League, powered by Ncell. I have the star cast to my left. First up, captain of Karnali Yaks, Sompal Kami, captain of Chitwan Rhinos, Kushal Malla, and to oversee the flip of the coin, match referee Mohammad Shafiq. Home team Karnali Yaks, Sompal, give that a go. Heads.
Heads the call.
Heads is the call by Chitwan.
Bowl first.
Sompal, you win the toss. What have you decided and why?
A bowl first because it looks very fresh wicket and a morning condition I have to use, as a pace bowler. I have to use that kind of condition. That's why I'm choosing bowl first.
Yeah, not been the greatest of starts for the Yaks.
Yeah.
What do you need to do to turn things around?
Just win, just a movement. what I feel is.
I'm sure, but there's certain departments that you feel that to really need to stand up in this particular game?
Yeah, it's happening sometime, you know, the condition is not our side, and the plan we do in our dressing room, that's not good in the ground. That's why we're losing few games, but I'm very confident with my team and my teammates. They will come back strongly.
Right, what about your playing 11 in this encounter?
I have two changes. Wilsto is coming, Babar is resting, and Bhuvan Kark is resting, and Yunis is come.
Good luck, all the very best.
Thank you so much.
Kushal, happy to bat first?
Yeah, if we have won the toss, we would have also bowled first, but it's okay, we are used to his condition.
2 in 2 for you all. You'll have one chasing, you'll have one defending. Your overseas players are performing well. Any area you feel you can still get better at?
Yeah, there are a lot of areas to still we have to be good, but we're ready for this match.
Right, batting first, you've seen the surface. What's the kind of score will be safe for you all?
I think 150 to 160 will be the good total to defend.
And what about your playing 11?
One change, Hassan is out and Nicol is in.
Good luck, all the very best.
Thank you.
Right, so the news from the centre is that Karnali Yaks have won the toss, and no surprises, they decide to bowl first.
Yeah, no surprise at all. Whichever captain had won that toss, they were definitely going to look to bowl first. Changes for the Yaks HD. Looks like there's a Western Australian coming to the team.
Yep, Will Basisto, the batter. He bowls a little bit, but it's the batting that the Yaks are going to look to improve on, and that's why Will Basisto comes into the side. Just to Bubba Hyatt goes out, we can understand why he's had some struggles.
Yeah, also one change, and a really good change for the Rhinos. Ncell off-to-Eaton, he's had to wait, but the man who at one point had scored the fastest century in T20I history, it was at this ground for Namibia, he comes into the team. Okay, HT, I think the umpire's already out behind us, but every single morning I've been asking you for a prediction. I think you've got 2 right, 1 wrong. Tell me.
I want to go with the Yaks. I so badly want to go with the Yaks, but I'm going to stick with the Rhinos.
I'm going against you, HT.
Good man.
I'm going with the Yaks. I think it's going to be Shikhar Dhawan to get the Yaks their very first win. Let's get up to the commentary box for all the game action.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Quite a contest there as well between Andrew and HD. Who's going to win this one today? Yaks winning the toss, bowling first. Change on top here for the Chitwan Rhinos. Good to see 23-year-old Namibian right on top. He'll want to make it count. One change there. Nicol Lofty coming in. Got a century to his credit, but it's Luke Menkenstein who'll be opening the innings. He's had his starts in this tournament. Couple of starts. 22 in the first game. Missed out of the bat last time around, but he's a very fine batter, the youngster. 20 years of age. Played for England under 19, and he'll be with Deepak Bora, who's not had good outings so far. 2 scores inside 10 in the first 2 outings, and the problems here for Yaks has only been on the top. The middle order has stood up with Ravi Bopara, Kushal Malla doing well. Sumpal Kami told me sometime back at the toss that it's all about going out there and winning. Will the captain spearhead this big moment for them? That's because they're still to register their first points. Huge experience under his belt, 74 games, 3 for 20. Just the right time to welcome my co-commentator as well. A very good morning to Monali Patel.
Good morning, Mikhail. Turning out to be a beautiful day already. The sun's shining. The clouds are just starting to make some way for some more sun rays out here. And what a picture this facility is. The ground staff have done an incredible job as we get ready for yet another encounter packed full of action. The music's been great, the crowd's been great, the atmosphere's been ecstatic. And it looks like we're about to get the show on the road fairly quickly. It's the Yaks taking on the Rhinos today.
Yeah, it's number 3 versus number 7 in the points table. Too early to say this, it's a David versus Goliath story, but another loss here for the Yaks. They'll be struggling bad. Short tournament from here on, getting to the middle stage. We're all set for ball 1, deep square leg, deep third, 2 fielders. Sumpal Kami steeping in. A slip in place for him. They need to attack, they need to get those wickets early on to just set the tone for themselves.
Skipper of Rhinos mentioning they won about 150, 160 on the board. We've noticed the conditions when you're batting first are a bit tricky. And between Bahara and Bankenstein, scene starts. Bahara struggled a bit. They want to try and get off on the right foot.
That's a good delivery. Bankenstein, a little tentative. Highest is 22 in that first outing against the Kathmandu Gurkhas.
Slip in place early as well. No surprises that the Yaks have won the toss and elected to field, trying to use those conditions to their advantage.
Two fielders in the deep, one at deep square leg, one at deep third. That one just held its line, got in the crease. Bankenstein. Yeah, I talk about the movement early on. Mr. Bismillah Jaishinwari from Kabul, Afghanistan. We had a chat this morning, Munali. He's talking about how cold this place is, but not more than how Kabul is. Very fine, gentlemen. Now the other end, Mr. Durganath Subedi from this part of the world. Yeah, you can see that camera on top of his hat as well. That gets us a close range view. TV Empire, Rashid Riaz.
Well, talk about movement. 3 deliveries, 4 deliveries in fact. We've seen some away movement. The one before this just slightly coming in as well. It's tough batting conditions. The slip being brought back in again for this pass delivery. How are you this morning, Mikhail?
Castle through him. Sompal Kami was getting the ball to move. Bankenstein was tentative. And this time though, it just goes and crashes into timber. That's a brilliant delivery. This one came in. And celebrations here for Yaks very early in the innings.
Well, talk about movement, and this time it nips back in. That off stump is a bit wobbly, and Bankenstein completely outdone by the movement. Sompal Kami making an immediate effect. First up, first over of the game. And regardless of the fact that we've got no runs on the board, we've just lost the first wicket. He goes for a duck, Bankenstein. The Rhinos, none for one.
Elements, Dhawan proactive, Sompal Kami getting a wicket in the very first over. Everything going their way, winning the toss, captain leading from the front, getting that early wicket. Ball moving in these conditions very early. And you can sense a buzz in the middle.
Well, it's really been a very outstanding over so far. Sompal Kami has gotten the ball to move away and in at will. It's Bipin Rawal walking out very early, practically opening this innings at this point, the left-handed batter. This one just nipping back ever so slightly right through the gate. Bankenstein nowhere close to that with a bat. That off stump just pegged back. He looks a happy man, the skipper, as he should be. He's bowled a fantastic 5 deliveries so far.
Yeah, he'll have to re-bowl that. You can sense the excitement in the air in the crowd as well. A lot of support here for the Yaks. You asked me how I am. It's a lovely morning. It's been wonderful, and it's been wonderful for the last 1 week over here, Monali. I'm in my jacket, but you're completely covered in all the sweaters and jackets. Still feeling the chill from Canada?
I've got 3 layers on, a scarf. I just took off my toque, or a beanie as you guys call it. And my gloves.
He's generating pace. Just the one run coming courtesy, that extra. It's been a brilliant start for the Yaks. It's 1 for 1 after over number 1.
Pond Super Light Gel with hyaluronic acid. 200% instant hydration. Miracles happen.
आफ्ना हरेक चिन्ताहरू अब हामीलाई छोडिदिनुस्। तपाईको भोलिको भरपर्दो साथी सानीमा रिलायन्स लाइफ इन्स्योरेन्स खुलेर जियौं।
I dare to overcome every hurdle and shine like a beacon. Presidential Graduate School, where every step leads to a new adventure.
Benkenstein, promoted as opener today, usually comes in at number 3. Bipin Rawal, for that matter, has not had a hit in the middle so far, and he's been in the middle order. Interesting promotion here by the management to have Bipin Rawal at number 3. Nandan Yadav for the Yaks. The 1 wicket for him so far in the 2 games. Otherwise, he's looked good. Yeah, what a first over by Sompal Kami. Bowled beautifully well, got the ball to move either ways. Luke Benkenstein was just not able to pick him off the surface. Then he just bowled a delivery that crashed into his stumps. Good start here for the Yaks. They'll need to keep that momentum going. Nandan from the far end to Deepak. Crisp, exquisite. Not too sure if it has enough legs to go for a 4, but Deepak will get off the mark. Oh dear. Sompal Kami just got a wicket off his bowling. Almost. Allowed that to go for a 4.
Well, this is a bit interesting from Sompal Kami. Not the way you want to pick up the ball. But I think he might just be okay here, Kami. This is driven beautifully. Nice looking cover drive. The outfield does tend to get a bit faster as the day goes on.
Only 4 fielders gave that ball a chase and it almost ran away for a 4.
I think they sense that Kami just might need a hand with that one.
Calm down, Kami, calm down. Off the mark. Rawal will need to find single and feel better. He'll be facing his first delivery here. Second, rather. That's a lovely hit in the slot. And just launched into this one. Lent into it beautifully. What a way to get off the mark. And that's how Rhinos play their cricket. They'll always look to attack.
There's something so pleasing about the cover drive. A classic shot, and this time it goes all the way for 4. Timed, the balance was exquisite as well, and plays it right through the gap. This time it does have enough legs to run away to the boundary. Great way to pick up a boundary. Definitely my favorite shot still.
Yeah, something about the cover drive, right, Monali? Looks so elegant.
Yeah, it's a whole Rahul Dravid thing for me. I mean, I feel like he just made it look so elegant over the years.
And talk about so many batters. When you talk about left-handed batters, you have to talk about Kumar Sangakkara. My God, it was organic purity when he would play those hits through the covers. Virat Kohli, for that matter, has been a closure of eyes when he plays that cover drive.
And the thing that's so impressive about Kohli is how he's able to manipulate those gaps. Cover drive wherever he wants to place it.
Not too sure where that was pitching. Very ambitious than Nandan Yadav. Fairly understandable. Anything on the pads and everyone's going to go up.
Yeah, I think just outside that leg stump line. Good call.
And that's a good shot tried as well by the batter. He knew it was pitching outside leg, so he could go for that swivel or pick-up shot. Yeah, it's always nice to see a good turnout. It's Friday morning and I'll tell you what, we are looking at Saturday, Sunday.
Listen, if I was in school, there's no better way to spend my day than to be at a cricket game. Out of class, at cricket, perfect.
There's something called the PT period in school where you would get to play for 45 minutes. That was the moment we would all look forward to. Looks like they've had a day out at the Tribhuvan University International Cricket Stadium.
Motivating the next generation of kids, the NPL. They get to see all these amazing athletes on the field, role models for them, up and coming. That's what you want to see, the next generation getting into it, motivated by their own local heroes. Sampal Kami picking up a wicket in the first over. It doesn't get any better than that.
Absolutely. As long as there is no maths and science today, I'm happy to be
I think we just saw Usain Bolt.
Yeah. Oh, that'll race away for a 4. Base on the ball, gets an outside edge, and they'll run away. Good over, there's 12 runs coming off it. It's 13 for 1.
म्याचको मिठो साथी रिजाल्ट्स नमकीन जति खाए पनि खाउ खाउ लाग्ने
Watch NPL on the go on Ncell app. Unlimited YouTube and other NPL packs. Download Ncell app now or dial *123*9#.
DHI Happier Home. Today sahay.
Coming in for that's a quick single. Oh, direct hit. Will that be referred upstairs? Always when it's a direct hit, you'll want to go and check up. Was the batter struggling at the other end? We'll have to wait and watch. That was a quick single within the 30-yard circle.
Well, the last thing you want is a run out at this stage. Early in the game, they've lost a wicket already. How tight is this? Oh, this might be touch and go. That middle frame might be touch and go. This is going to be a difficult one for the umpires, I think.
Yeah, that's Mr. Rashid Riaz who'll have to take a call, and I feel the batter here may get the benefit of doubt, and also maybe that one frame showing that some part of the bat may have been across the line. Yeah, it's going to be touch and go. It's a very good throw. Well, Bosisto with that throw over there. Yeah, it's about frames here. Yeah, it's at that point of impact when the bails are off the groove, where the bat looks like it's just across the line. I want to believe Deepak may get the benefit of doubt here.
Yeah, that middle frame is where it's going to be a bit tricky though, isn't it? Because you don't know if he's on the line or if he's crossed the line, because that line is where it's going to be the tricky part.
Yeah, it's Rashid Riaz who'll be taking a call on this one. He's the TV umpire. It's part of the T20 World Cup that just concluded in USA and West Indies as well.
William Basisto actually recently traveling to Canada with the MCC. He toured with the MCC this summer. Very handy player to have on your side.
Touch and go. Umpires in discussion, the batters in discussion mode. Just got to wait for confirmation here. Will it be wicket number 2 or will Deepak survive and continue to fight on? And I feel not out should be the decision very soon. There it is. Okay, Deepak, over to you. Good run by the end of it, and a very good piece of fielding as well. Sharp bit of work by Basisto.
Yeah, that was a very, very tough call. Glad we're not in that position, but he survives. Deepak gets a life. 7 off 2 for him so far.
That's in the air, wide of the fielder at backward point. I've liked the way Sompal Kami has come out this morning.
He's bowling a really good line as well. He's got a slip in place. Just really good movement early in the morning, using the conditions to his advantage. Exactly the start that you want from your spearhead bowler early on.
This is going to be a close call. Loud shout. Sompal Kami is almost at the other end. Shinwari says nothing in that one.
Well, we're talking about movement, and he really did get some in that first over. The first two going away. This one, the third one nipping back. The slip in place as well as the fourth one nipped back. And this one right back into the right-hander. Great between the first 5 deliveries. And he was able to move them both ways at will.
That's a good hit. Just gets the inside half of the bat. He'll get 2 runs. Yeah, talk about Sompal Kami and setups and setting up batters and just setting up a wicket as well. That was a perfect exhibition for a youngster watching Sompal Kami in action. Young pacer, that's how you do it. Get the ball to move away, get it in, keep the batter guessing.
Yeah, and Bankenstein really did not look comfortable, did he? He saw the first couple go out, and then that third one that came in, he signaled to his co-batter that, you know what, that there's definitely a bit of movement going both ways. And sure enough, the uncomfortableness just led him to fall early today.
Yeah, he's found his radar this morning. He's been sharp, Sompal Kami. I asked him at the toss, what do you need to do to get back to winning ways? He says, just win. That was a very good shout, let me tell you. The batter very lucky there, Bipin Rawal. I wonder what really saved him.
That was a tight call when we look at it again. The line was spot on. I'm not even sure if the height would have been an issue on that one.
Sompal, while appealing, ended up going to the striker's end in desperation. Works it away. Fine legs up in the circle. They're pushing for the second, and they'll get that as well. 6 runs of over number 3. There's been a probing over here by Sompal Kami, should I say spell. It's 19 for 1.
Neocool solar water heaters, water purifiers, chimneys, the gas hobs le buzeko cha, your way of quality living.
Tapaiko Asli Energy, Red Bull, Asli Nerozo.
I dare to overcome every hurdle and shine like a beacon. Presidential Graduate School, where every step leads to a new adventure.
Cricketing action, yeah. Day 6 match number 10. Yaks still to register a win. They've played 2 and they've lost 2, and for that matter the Rhinos have played 2-1-2. Put into bat, they've lost the early wicket of Benkenstein. Departed without troubling the scorers. 19 for 1. This partnership worth 19 now. Rawal and Deepak, the local talent on display.
First signs of a bit of impatience. Deepak trying to use his feet, come down the track. And why not? It is power play overs. Just the 2 fielders outside. You want to try and use his field to your advantage. Nandan's gone for 11 off his first over. And they'll probably want to pick on Nandan because Sompal Kami, the other end, has been bowling absolute gems.
Yeah, a lot of support here for the Yaks. Every team has their fan following. Movement. That's why you have slip in place. Dev Khanal at first slip. Yeah, I've liked the way Nandan has bowled this morning. Both the seamers are making good use of conducive conditions.
Well, I said trying to go and take after Nandan, but that ball nipped away so beautifully. Had the batter chasing it for a little while as well. It'd be very tough conditions early on for the batters. What would you do to negate some of the swing early on? Do you think maybe standing outside a bit, playing it a bit later?
Just go to the non-strikers in, Monali. Over to you. Delivery should be put away. It's short and wide. You can sense the top order for the Rhinos has been a bit of a Malla at number 3 coming in. You've seen Ravi Bopara doing the job with the bat, but the top order has not really got going. That's why Hassan Esakil has been left out today. You had Benkenstein opening with Bora. It's been only a Kushal Malla Ravi Bopara show so far. You did see Santosh Karki getting 28 of 30 in that first game with Sharad Vesavkar.
But the dot balls seem to be piling on here. Trying to lap it over. Going to be a little bit careful because this line and where he tried to play that would have gone either straight to the keeper or to first slip. Going to have to find a different way to get some runs on the board. Typically, I mean, playing women's cricket, the ball's a bit smaller, so we're used to the additional swing. The pace is slower, but typically, I mean, playing women's cricket, the ball's a bit smaller, so we're used to the additional swing. The pace is slower, but there's a lot of swing early on. I was one of those that used to stand out a bit to try and negate it. But non-strikers, gone! We talked about that first slip coming into the equation. This time just takes that outside edge and an easy catch at first slip. We've got 2 wickets down, and it's both of the openers who've picked up a scalp each.
It was coming. Deepak was at bay, playing all over, rewarded for a very fine piece of bowling. Nandan. That's the hard length, got the ball to seam away. Slip in place, great captaincy, wonderful setup once again. The Yaks putting on a show this morning after winning the toss. That's another wicket that goes. Deepak has to depart for 8. It's 19 for 2. Well, it's Nandan Yadav who's bowled a brilliant second over of his 4 dot balls around the corridor of uncertainty, around middle and off. Then the 5th delivery accounted for a wicket with a slip in place and Dev Kannal completing formalities. And that's what happens in adversity. You've got to turn to your most trusted ally, and that's Ravi Bopara. Fresh from a 50 in the last game, looked so good. 51 of 38 was so elegant. The series, yeah, the strike rate as well, 132. The ball's doing a bit, and you need the experience of Bopara. Yeah, just comes in and adds more comedy. But what an over! A wicket made in here for Nandan. Brilliant bowling. It's 19 for 2 after 4.
Ncell डेरीको उत्कृष्ट